The real shame here is it's taken so much loss, so much chaos, and so much pain just to get this little bit of change. Just to get to this point. And honestly, it's a joke. It's hard to tell if I'm watching Game of Thrones or reality when talking about this story, because the world Morrissey built is quickly crumbling around him, with one major player possibly gone. So welcome to the point. Let's get to it.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
This is huge news out of Massachusetts. And keep this in mind, everything said here is alleged. Please do your own research, form your own opinion, and let me know that opinion because this is an open discussion channel. And we try to be fair here, so if more fair coverage on this story and others is something you're missing, subscribe to this channel and hit that like button down below. Because Karen Read's defense team has a $1 million misinformation campaign going on. And I want my money. I'm kidding, of course, but look what's happened so far. Proctor's still on the cross looking for friends, but no one's around. Sergeant Bukhenik gave up 5 vacation days, while Tully got punished and promoted seemingly at the same time. So way to read the room, MSP, no pun intended. And somehow this is all Karen Read's fault, right? So it was Karen Read's fault MSP botched this investigation. It was Karen Read's fault Colin Albert got sauced and left his weapon behind. It was Karen Read's fault the FBI intervened in the Sandra Birchmore investigation. To me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like Karen Read's done nothing more than clean a whole lot of this mess up. This case has shined a light on a lot of issues that people in that area have been dealing with for a long time. It's honestly nothing more than that in my own unprofessional opinion. But if we had to point fingers in this story, if we had to look for one common thread among all these different situations, who do you think those threads would point to? Well, if you said Morrissey, you would be absolutely correct. And his inner circle is shrinking rapidly. It was just a few days ago David Traub said after 25 years of service he was resigning as spokesman for Morrissey. And if timing is everything, this is certainly odd timing, because David went on to say in that interview it was just time to go. So it seems after multiple unopposed elections, nobody's willing to go down with the ship. And as of now, 2 candidates have entered the race for 2026, and Morrissey has only one ally left within this firestorm to look to. And that ally is none other than Judge Bev. But not for long in her current role if this story is true. Now, to be fair, Howie Carr is a local radio host in the area and a published author and journalist. But he also seems pretty biased. But this is what he said within the last few hours of me making this video. Breaking: more bad news for Meatball Morrissey's attempts to frame Karen Read. Hearing from reliable sources that Judge Beverly, Auntie Bev Cannone, is out as of January 1 as the boss of Norfolk Superior Court. Her current title is Regional Administrative Justice, RAJ, as in the old days of British colonial rule in India. Not sure if RAJ is like being president of the Elks Club for a year or so and then you're rotated out automatically. But judicial sources tell me that when the RAJ is replaced, as Cannone is about to be, he or she generally moves out of the rotation of the county they were boss of, in this case the rotten borough of Norfolk. Often the deposed RAJs flee their previous base for their Cape mansions until they reach mandatory retirement age of 70. Doesn't Auntie Bev have a mansion in Centreville? If Cannone's out of Norfolk County courtrooms, and I don't know for sure that she is, and it's unlikely to be officially announced anytime soon, to avoid further humiliation for the reeling meatball mob, any judge would be an improvement if indeed Morrissey's second attempted necktie party for Karen Read takes place in Dedham in January. As you know, the fix was always in with Cannone's presiding. Remember her jury verdict forms with no options for a not guilty finding? Cannone is a second-generation hack layabout. Her father was a courthouse payroll patriot in Quincy, Meatball's hometown. Age 63, she has never worked a day in the dreaded private sector. Her hack brother was the public defender for jailbird Chris Albert, the Canton selectman, poor pizza purveyor, and brother of dodgy cops Brian and Kevin Fat Albert. In 1994, jailbird Chris was convicted of passing a guy in a hit-and-run car accident and did 6 months in the HOC. In other words, Cannone is Norfolk County hack royalty. Of course, she refused to accept the not guilty verdicts from the jury in Karen Read's first kangaroo court trial. I just hope that being stripped of RAJ's title means Auntie Bev is gone, period, from Norfolk County. It will be good justice for justice, bad news for just us corruption that has destroyed all confidence in law enforcement under Meatball Morrissey. This has not been a good weekend for Meatball. The only upside, as I mentioned in my Herald column today, is that the Pats game in London started early. Breaking. Judge Auntie Bev Cannone will remain as judge in second passing trial of Karen Read. Superior Court announces this AM. Now confirmed that she is out as Regional Administrative Justice of Norfolk County as of January 1st, but trial court claims that's just merely a rotation. Funny coincidence, I guess you could say. Flax also claimed that after she catastrophically ran the first kangaroo court passing trial of Read, Auntie Bev will remain in the just us system of Norfolk County. That's where she grew up, a second-generation payroll patriot in the Quincy Hackerama. Read statement below. Hi, Howie. In Superior Court, regional administrative justices and other leaders serve in their leadership roles for 3 years, after which they rotate out of them, barring exceptional circumstances. For that reason, several administrative justices and other local leaders will in 2025 rotate out of those roles, including Judge Cannone from her role as Regional Administrative Justice in Norfolk County. Judge Cannone will continue to serve in Norfolk County in 2025, and she will preside over the Commonwealth versus Karen Read case in January. She will also assume the chair of the Superior Court's Criminal Committee. Now, I first saw this story on Reddit, and then I saw it in the comments, so I figured I would give an update. Originally, it wasn't known if she would still preside over this case, but it seems she will. But the real question is, if she leaves this role, will there be any change? Well, let's be real. Without constant public pressure, I doubt it. I don't see anything different happening in this case or others in the area as long as these people are in power. And when I say it will take constant public pressure, I mean non-stop public pressure. But the original thought was she was just going to go to her mansion and resign all her duties, which we know now to be false. She will still be a judge. She will still be serving in that area, just in a different capacity. Now down here we have the good old boy system in a lot of areas, but y'all people in Norfolk said hold my beer. The real shame here is it's taken so much loss, so much chaos, and so much pain just to get this little bit of change. Just to get to this point. And honestly, it's a joke. And even if she was off this trial in January, regardless of who's sitting on the bench, I don't see anything changing for Karen Read, pending the outcome of this Supreme Court decision. However, I can say I will be shocked if Morrissey runs for re-election. I'll be even more shocked if he runs and wins. But what's shocking you the most in this story? Howie Carr seems to be a legitimate journalist, so I don't think he would make this up to discredit himself. Unless I'm wrong, of course, which is completely possible. Maybe it's possible you'll let me know down below. Y'all be safe now.